Thanks. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. Thanks,
morning.
Pat. Have a seat. Thank you, sir. And it's Puccia. I got it?
Yes, you got it.
It only took me 2 tries. Well, welcome to Mesa Morning Live. Thanks for being here. And I'll just throw this out. Whoever's comfortable answering, tell us what you guys do.
Well, Operation Freedom Bird, we take combat vets to the wall on Veterans Day for the past 27 years this year. And they're going through PTSD counseling, and that's how we pick our gentlemen and young ladies, too, to go to the wall for 4 days. Basically, on Veterans Day, we see all the memorials and go through all the festivities that happens on Veterans Day.
Now, when you say you take them, do you physically fly them out there, or do you just...
Southwest Airlines provides us the seats, and we raise the money to pay for everything. Wow. The veteran just has to take care of the rucksack that's on their back and leave it at the wall or at the Pentagon or at the Iwo Jima Memorial or Arlington, and it's time for them to reflect on what they did in the military.
And about 5 years ago, we opened it up to veterans of all conflict, all war. So combat veterans from World War II, we had one last year. World War II, we had one from Korea, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq, so the full spectrum. And every night after dinner is over, we have a group, and we do group therapy, and the veterans are given journals and questions that are aimed at driving them deeper and deeper into what it is that they've yet to share. And our World War II veteran, who's on a different slide here, he shared things that he'd never shared before. He was a Merrill's Marauder, and he had never shared. And what the veterans come to understand is that pain is pain, survivor's guilt is survivor's guilt. And the old start helping the young, and it's an incredible synchronicity of help. And
wow,
they start to shift and change.
How did you guys get involved in this? What's your background?
Vietnam, 68, 69, 101st Airborne. I was a crew chief door gunner, Ashall Valley. I came home, and 1988, I used my GI Bill, got my pilot's ratings, and I was flying for a local company. We started flying into Washington, D.C., and I wanted to go to the wall. But I couldn't go by myself, so I went to the president of the company, and 1988... Why couldn't you go by yourself? I couldn't go by myself because I needed to be with the guys that I was with to share my experience with people who knew what I was doing at the time in Vietnam. So at that time, we went to the wall on Veterans Day, and my feelings came out, and the guys were there with me to share my emotions. And the president of the company saw what we did and said, you know, we're going to do this every year. So we've done it for the past 26 years, and we've been helping probably a little over 1,300 people, combat veterans.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Now, are you from this area, or were you
I graduated from Westwood High School, yes, in 1967. Should I add that?
As I recall, you were very young. You graduated at the age of 4, as I recall.
Yes, I was a boat person.
Trying to help him out here a little. No, that's awesome.
I joined the Army, and I needed, Walter Cronkite said, this war is over, in the Tet of 68, and I thought, I got to join. Wow. So I went.
So you recently retired, right?
I retired from U.S. Airways after 29 years of flying airplanes. So now I'm retired, I can work on this, helping veterans.
Well, that's cool. And Annette, what's your background? How did you get involved, and what are your passions?
Well, I come to Operation Freedom Bird in a dual role. I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Arizona, and I specialize in trauma, EMDR certified, and I have a private practice. And I'm also a Gold Star mom. And if you don't know what that means that you're, okay. So that means your loved one passed away in war or because of war, and I'm in the latter group. My son, Adam Hill Gibson, was in Iraq 2 tours, and he passed away a year after he was separated from the military. He came out with a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress, and he, in a collision of events, became flooded with PTSD symptoms, and he took his life. So I am working my way through that, and Patrick Ziegert, president of Operation Freedom Bird, and I knew each other, and he said, you know, I've got this thing that I'm part of. I'd like you to come hear about it. And within 3 hours, I was a part. So I'm one of the therapists that goes. We've rewritten the program, and I wanted for Pat to talk about the need to be together. The wounds come together and the wounds heal together, and it's incredibly important that they reconstitute that sense of camaraderie. And again, we use all of the memorials. The Pentagon is for Iraq, Afghanistan. We walk the flight path, and it's quite intense. So I will do anything to not have anyone go through what my son felt and what I am clearly feeling, and this serves that purpose. It's incredible. Incredible.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And I know you're a giving person, and that's putting it mildly. Tell us a little bit about, I see in my notes here you've donated not just your expertise, but your body.
We all carry the organ donor card, but mine has already done on it. I am an organ donor of a lung lobe. 15 years ago, a friend of a friend's daughter, cystic fibrosis. She was 14 at the time, and long story short, I'm lefty, and her uncle is righty. Donate that and blood donation, and I just feel like whatever you can give of yourself, you give it, no matter what. Just help life.
That's amazing. Yeah, there you go. I noticed, as I'm not real smart, it says you've donated 13 gallons of blood.
Yep.
Not all at once, right?
Do I look pale? Extra makeup. Yeah, well, over time. Yeah, rare blood type, and I know that you guys somebody talked about blood drive, but again, you reconstitute it every 3 weeks? Give it away. It helps a lot of people. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Big deal.
I can't help noticing here you have.
Well, I would like to present you this hat that all of our veterans wear when we go to Washington. And when we go to all the events, you have to have that hat on. Otherwise, you're not getting in. On Veterans Day, they open up a path through all the sea of people, and we all come through, and we sit down at the memorial. And the Marine Corps birthday, we sit down with the Commandant of the Marines. And so we have special privileges with this hat.
Well, that's awesome.
And the guys get to decorate with what they want. Each ribbon, this is a Vietnam, of course. We have Afghan, IOFI.
Oh, man.
EF. Anyway, we have all the veterans. We change it, of course, for the Korean, the Afghan, Iraq.
So without a hat, they wouldn't let me in?
Correct.
You're in.
And that hat...
Even with the hat, I mean, there's a lot of reasons they probably won't let me in.
Right. So...
Is this really for me?
Yes, sir.
Wow, can I trade you this for that one?
If you want this one...
I'm totally kidding. Look at...
Get all the baggage that goes with it.
No, you've earned all that. That's awesome. What do you think, huh? I got the biggest noggin in the world. We may have to hook it up with a bungee cord.
That's our 25-year hat.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it.
Well, that's awesome.
And I'd like to say OperationFreedomBird.org is on the website.
Well, absolutely. Tell us about that. Tell us what they can do if they go to, and it's on the board here.
We are
OperationFreedomBird.org.
We are a nonprofit organization, 501c3, and 100% of monies goes to the event. We don't get paid.
We're all volunteer.
We're all volunteer, the staff, everything. We have to pay for everything. The vet just takes care of himself. We take care of the DoubleTree. I get the cookies. The bus driver, we've had Tony Conway for the past 25 years. He's been driving us around. So everyone in Washington knows us. But Arizona, it's a veteran community type event that everyone knows, but we've had TV, anyway, we won't go there. But it's a good, wonderful program, and we're always trying to raise money. So
Southwest Airline donates the flight, so we're responsible for roughly 700 per veteran. And again, other than postage stamps, because we got to pay for that, everything goes to the vets. And so it's, again, pretty special, and that's a very doable number, I think, for people to say, I'm going to sponsor a vet. Veterans are raised in our communities. That's who they think about when they're there. And when they come home, they're having difficulty reintegrating into the community. So what we want is the community to start pulling them back in and welcoming them all the way home, not just physically, but mentally. And that's what our job is to start to shift that and get them to come home.
That's awesome. Well, I can tell you guys speak, there's a lot of passion in your message and your mission, and thank you so much. Does anybody have a quick question for these guys before I, yes, sir, Dale? I'm sorry? What about him? Oh, okay.
great.
There you go.
We'll do it.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Or yes, ma'am.
How long were you in DC?
We're there for 4 days. It's a great question. We leave the morning of, and veterans are treated pretty darn special at the airport, and we are there until the 12th. We come home, and there's this is a secret, so whoever's watching, if you're a veteran and you're going to go, put your fingers in yours. There's a beautiful welcome home party. So the welcome home that they never got happens, and they get to experience it together. It's in, yeah, so 4 days.
That's amazing. Just one last quick question, comment here.
How do you generally find your candidates to go on these flights?
We have referrals that come from therapists all over the valley. Vet centers around the valley have been a primary source, and we reach out to other therapists who work with vets. Veterans can refer themselves. One of the criteria is that they do need to have a relationship with a counselor, because we're going to stir up the pot, clearly, and we need someone to close it back up. And so it's meant to be sort of like the middle guy in a relay race. We're taking the baton from a clinician and the veteran, but you can self-refer, and if you go to the website, there's a space there to contact us, and we'll get that going. Yeah, thank you.
Well, Annette and Pat, thank you so much for stopping off and telling us what you guys are doing. It's a great cause. If you've got any, a lot of people sometimes sit around and you're inundated with charitable requests and you don't know where to go. Boy, you couldn't do any better than helping these guys out. So thank you so much, and thanks for the hat, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Pat. Thank you, sir. Thank you.